Okay, week 39's store report. Let's start with the averages, shall we? Obviously a strange week with post account integration and things like that. An odd one really. So Monday to Monday is when I take the actual sales numbers, but the part value stuff is running at a slightly different time, so we'll get to that. But week 39 in terms of averages, sitting at 23, so it bobs around in those low 20s, 23, 21, 24, 22, and up and down it goes. Equally, so that's the average one. As you can see, it's kind of been a gentle decline for a little while, but there are a number of stores closed for a duration, so they are affecting those numbers. Total sales across the cohort of 26 back up to a more healthy number above that kind of 675 line, which tends to be where it sits generally. Yellow Brick Road against the average, one down, one up, one down, one up, and it's just kind of had a nice little run there and there, but back up again this week, which is decent, but we'll see how that pans out over the duration. So let's get rid of that. Here we are, week 39, with a fair few different columns which we'll run through, but you'll get the idea pretty swiftly of whether or not this is total guesswork or fairly accurate. Let me just explain first, actually, by using my own store. So 24th through to the 1st of October, these dates actually are running from till the 29th, so it's a Wednesday through to a Monday, so an odd portion of time, but it gives you a little bit of an indication of the business people have been doing. And what I've calculated against each of the stores in the top 10 is starting inventory on the 24th and when there were uploads, and then essentially you have starting inventory plus uploads minus ending inventory, and that gives you roughly the number of parts which have been uploaded, and therefore working that out against the price per piece, you can work out a basic idea of revenue from Wednesday to Monday. So it's not a perfect science at all, but I thought it'd be interesting. I won't be doing it again because it was an awful lot of calculations in a spreadsheet. So anyway, let's go through the top 10. So Bricks Warehouse, as per usual, sitting top of the shop, 103, so a big jump up on last week. Their uploads this week was 6,347 by my calculation. Now, the only thing that could skew those numbers, if there were sales in the day that they did the upload, which is highly likely, given that these top 4 or 5 stores are having at least one sale per day. So it's not an exact science. They could have had a huge order and done a huge upload, and those two could have cancelled each other out. So hashtag not accurate. Anyway, based on parts sold through those days of 31,120 at their price per piece rate, that gives you a revenue of 8,713, which is the top here, but there's some wild variance in these numbers as we work our way down. Fantechnic continuing to feature in the top 3 since their kind of store suspension, back up to 70, which is a very normal number for them, up on 58 last week, but remember last week's included the account integration debacle. Uploads this week, again, I won't say the caveat every time, looking like 3,969, which means they sold 5,873, and at 44 cents per part gave them 2,584. Noah's one, I think, could well be the one that's kind of freaked out by uploads on the day that there are sales, but who knows. 56 sales up on last week. Uploads look like it was 2,939, which means, allowing for something happening in the same day, we have a parts sold of 790, which gives the total of 221, which I find hard to believe personally. Pretty Bricks falling 2 this week, down on last week, 64 to 52. Their inventory did take quite a big leap, uploading to 10,237, which means they sold 3,528 at 66 cents per piece, giving them 2328, which puts them in 5th place on this chart. Goldie Bricks up 1, a decrease on last week, which was a decrease again. Price per part calculating out at 0.45 cents per piece. Looks like they uploaded 6,051 parts, selling 9,283, giving them a store revenue of 4,177 in those dates, which that is not correct. Papa Bricks climbing 2. They had a huge week of uploads, 36 sales up on 32 last week, so that's 2 weeks in a row that they've increased sales. Uploaded 22,225. There was a big upload in the midst of that, but also sold an awful lot, 20,126. The fact that those numbers are so similar does make it seem a little bit odd, but certainly their inventory only climbed 2,000. I won't go into the details of our sense checked some of this data, but yeah, this one could be a bit of an anomaly, not sure. But anyway, that would give them 7,446, and who knows if that's true or not, but that would be lovely. No change for Sydney Brick Emporium, 35 sales this week, up on 33 the week previous. Again, a massive upload, 124,792, but it looks like they only sold 725 parts in the Wednesday through to the Monday. They may have been closed in that period as well. Who knows? But their inventory has definitely moved on a long way in the week. 681 up to 805. Revenue does not reflect that great increase, but would reflect a sale of that many parts at 60 cents per part. Brick Womble up 2 places from 10 to 8. They uploaded 4,550 with 3,283 parts being sold, giving them at 0.19 cents per piece, a revenue of 623, which is quite a difference, isn't it? And then myself and Shannon, a new entrants here, so I had to reverse engineer the data a little bit. So the store, and I can sense check my numbers, so that's okay. Mine are accurate. Kind of. I've not checked the actual sale price per piece, but that price per piece is 5 cents short of my actual average that I'm selling for currently. So, you know, it's not a perfect science, but it does give you a bit of an insight. So 32 this week after 13 last week. That is a big jump because of store integration and the store being closed. 17,350 parts uploaded, as you will have seen in the vlog, and 2,354 parts sold in that Wednesday through to Monday, giving 682, which feels about accurate, I'm going to be honest. And Shannon up 28 on 19 last week, so a big nice bump for him as well. 3,134 uploaded, 3,904 sold, giving 624 in terms of revenue. And again, that is 24th of September through to 29th of September, not the 1st as it says there. So there we have it. An interesting insight. I'm not going to run this kind of reporting again, I don't think. I may do it on stores that are of similar size to me. So maybe Goldie Bricks, Papa Bricks, and every little brick, and maybe a brick shed, just to kind of keep an eye on that. But the others, it's a bit of an effort. So we'll see if I do that again. If you do like this section, let me know. I'll maybe keep it in. But equally, views of the store report have been declining, so I may well fold this back into the actual blog week by week now. It doesn't seem to have taken flight all by itself, unless you all make a big stand and say that it's the best things that you've ever watched, and therefore give it a like. And that's it, really. Week 39, an odd one, kind of a good bounce back, or across the board, but mainly. A couple of exceptions in the midriff there, but decent enough. Comments, likes, subscribe down below.